Hi, welcome to our first warm weather version of Best Friends. And I'm going to talk a little bit about warm weather stuff. One of the most important things I need to bring up is leaving your dog in the car when you go about your business, doing whatever. The deal is, we know you love your dog because you take it with you everywhere. And your dog expects to be able to go. But there's a new twist to this. Not only is it costing us a huge amount of time running from dog in a hot car complaint to dog in a hot car complaint. This past Saturday we had 7 different ones, and that's in the middle of a normal day where we also have bites and dogs at large or hit by car animals to go to as well. It's a drain, but it's extremely hazardous for the dog, so we will always respond. The problem is that when we get there, people are angry and defensive because they love their dog. Of course they love their dog, we know that. But a dog on an 80-degree day can die very quickly in a car that has the windows even partway down. And it isn't that we are the only people that understand that. There is a very large contingent of just run-of-the-mill people who are extremely upset by seeing a dog in a car when the weather is warm. And you can come out of the store to find a crowd of very angry people around your car, which has got to be a very unpleasant experience. The bottom line is, save yourself, save your dog, save the people who I'm sure don't enjoy being angry, and us, a lot of angst. And during these warm days, please leave your pet at home. I know how hard it is to do. I have to keep treats by the door so I can throw them into the living room and distract the dogs while I get out of the house. I understand. But at the same time, the thought that my dogs may be left in a car or uncomfortable or in peril is just, can't go there. Okay? So that's my soapbox for the day. Now, I've also been asked to point out that we have animals in foster care that are not in the shelter. That's almost always true. And in this particular case, this is a ball python. Its name is Jordan. He's very interesting, and he's a lot of fun to hold. We hold Jordan. We're not sure whether Jordan is a girl or a boy, but anyway, he's very accustomed to being held. He's about 2 feet long right now, and he's going to need adequate housing for a big snake because he'll grow to be 3 to 5 feet. The cost for adoption for a ball python is $60, and of course, adequate housing. On to the cats. This is a lovely little, he's a very young cat, probably, I'd say right at a year. He came to us with really severe ear mites and had scratched behind each ear to the extent that he had scabs there. I think sometimes people see ear mites. Well, we're going to have to hold him because he's not going to stay there. Sometimes people see the kinds of effects that ear mites have, but they don't recognize what's causing it. And they're really very easily treatable. They're a nuisance, to be sure, but they are treatable. And it's one of the hazards of being a cat, I think. I know you are really not comfortable with that scary thing there. It's a camera, and it really likes you because you're a very photogenic kitty. Anyway, he's a very nice guy, usually. And he did well with his treatment. Probably thinks that's what I'm going to do again. And he would make a very good pet, although I wouldn't recommend that he be an outdoor pet. This is a beautiful little calico. It's the tortoiseshell pattern. This kitty came in to us with some rather odd patches scissored out. Not sure what prompted it. I think there was kind of a disturbance in her home life, but the cat herself is really very nice. She's a nice little short hair, nice chunky little cat, and has a really good personality. So she would make an excellent pet. This one is a little less skitsy than the one that I was just showing you, so probably would be okay in a home with older children, where I would not recommend that tabby for a home with kids. I like her. Her tail has also seen some scissor work. I'm not quite sure what the intent was there. This is Peanut. Peanut is a lovely chunky cat. She's a girl cat, and she has great green eyes that are set off by her lovely plush black coat. I'm not quite sure why her name is Peanut. You would think that there might be more appropriate names for a black cat, and I doubt that Peanut would really be offended by a name change. Although, I suppose if Peanut is your name, it doesn't matter what your appearance is, huh? Anyway, Peanut is one of our drooly kitties. When she likes you and you snuggle her, she kind of dribbles from the mouth. And so if you find that to be an attractive trait, Peanut is an excellent choice for a pet. I don't find it to be an unattractive trait. It's just that you have to kind of pick and choose when you hold her. And my experience has been that cats aren't always willing to let you choose when you want to hold them. I know. Yeah. You've asked about kittens, and this one is the last of a litter of 3 that I think we just put up in adoption yesterday afternoon. He is 3 months old. It's a little male kitten, and he was the smallest in the litter. He's really a very sweet little guy. You can see right now, because he's a kitten, if you get him in the light, you can see tabby markings in his coat, but he's basically all black. He is a sweet little fella. Very happy to be held. Probably if you have kids in the home, this would be a good kitten to get so that he can grow up with them. Because he does tolerate being held gently quite well. This is Ginger. Now, Ginger is kind of the other end of the spectrum from the kitty that we were just talking about. She's short-haired, although she is also a calico. She's a different kind of calico. She also has a very different personality. She comes out of a home where there are many children and a dog, and she loved all of them and got along quite well. So, if you are interested in having a kitty in your home and you have a busy, active household and you have a dog as your other pet, this kitty would be an excellent choice. She would fit in quite well. It happens that way. She also has short hair and does not have any flea allergies. And so while you get the same color pattern, you get a very tolerant cat, which is very nice, I think. Not that the other one wasn't, but Ginger is just an excellent find. She came to us only because one of the children in her former household developed a very severe allergy to her fur, and it's difficult for a cat to do without their fur. I suppose you could shave them every other day, but it's hard on the cat. It's harder on the owner. So Ginger needs a new home. She is already spayed. And for the most part, the cats that you are seeing today have also received their rabies immunization. We try and make sure that as many as possible have their rabies immunization. It is limited only by the fact that we have to have a vet do that, and we don't have vets available every day. She is watching the guinea pig that is in a cage lower down. Thinking maybe if you have a guinea pig in your home, this wouldn't be a good choice. But how many people have guinea pigs in their home? This beautiful, beautiful little medium-haired, it's not actually even medium-haired, it's just at the long edge of short hair, but with a beautiful bushy tail. Anyway, this gorgeous little thing is about it's under a year old, but close to a year. Has absolutely no fleas, no ear mites. It is just a clean as a whistle little cat, and I think absolutely delightful. Has a terrific personality. It's calm, laid back. It has that wonderful kind of chocolatey rich undertone to its coat. I don't know if you can see that on the TV screen, but it certainly is a beautiful coat. And loves human attention, which is also an enormous plus. Pretty green eyes, just match the towel. My goodness, we ought to give this to you for your condo towel. Yes. And this one, I believe, is a female. So if you would like a lady cat who has a wonderful, gentle disposition and would probably tolerate a busy, active household without any problem at all, here is the kitty for you. She also loves treats, which I find to be a very attractive feature in a cat. I like to know where my cats are, and if I shake the treat bag at home, all three of them descend on me in very short order. So that's a good thing. So stay with us. We have a real treat in store for the dog adoption. It isn't all dogs today. We have a pig, and we also have a dog that is deaf, that one of our foster homes has been training, and you'll get to see some of her hand signals. It's a really very interesting dog, a very bright dog. Just happens to be deaf. Welcome to Animal Services Dog Adoption. This is Honey. Honey is 3 years old. She's spayed. Honey is deaf, and so she has been trained with hand signals. Our foster home has been doing a wonderful job with her. And she has a whole list of the kinds of cues that she can understand and follow. And off camera, one of our staff is actually utilizing some of those cues. As I just did. and Honey follows them quite well. Obviously, this is going to take a home that is willing to put a little bit of consistency and work in with the dog. It's definitely worth it. She is a wonderful dog. Often people encounter a deaf dog, but they don't realize that the dog is deaf. I have known dogs that were deaf and some that were even blind, where their behaviors came across as something unusual that people didn't really understand. But once it was established that there was a disability, then it became much easier to work with them. Now, clearly this dog is not going to be able to go into a home where there are children that are unaware of her issues, because a child running up on a dog that has no visual or, well, has no sound clue about the child coming until it's on top of them would be an invitation to disaster. But in a home where everyone is aware of the problem and people coming to the house are aware of the problem, she will be like any other family member. She is a very tolerant, happy dog and very comfortable to be around. She does need a solid 6-foot fence to keep her safe, because she can't hear traffic noise. She can't hear people going past. She needs to make sure that, the owner would need to make sure that she is safe and secure and can't get out, because a dog that has no hearing is really at risk in any environment where they don't have a human with them. I think Honey is a terrific dog. If you have a family where any member of it is hearing impaired, I think this would be a terrific pet. Of course, that's me thinking and not you. I would like to hear from people who have an interest in that. But Honey understands sign language just as anyone who is hearing impaired does, only on a slightly more limited basis. Well, considerably more limited basis. But her commands are just visual. That's the only difference. This is Mary. Mary is a walker hound. Every inch of her and everything that implies. Mary has a very pointed disposition. Fortunately, she also has a very soft mouth. She's been with us for a while. She was bred to hunt, as walkers are, but she didn't do that very well, and so she came here. She's under 2 years old, although not by much, and she's spayed. But Mary has separation anxiety, and she can't be left alone in like a backyard, and she will destroy a wood fence, and so she needs a 6-foot chain link, because she will be out of anything else looking for people. Of course, the alternative is she would be out looking for cats. Let's see, Mary, we'll stay here, okay? Because that's another kind of thing with hounds. And they need to have something that stops them, because they are so nose-driven. Yes, they are. That if they pick up a scent, they're not going to quit until they find what they're looking for, unless there happens to be a fence in between them and whatever it is. She's a very affectionate dog. And she has the strength to make it count. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. She has a wonderful heart She definitely needs training, and she needs somebody who is comfortable with hounds. They're definitely not like herding breeds. They are unique and driven. We're hoping that there is a home out there for Mary. You cannot put a dog like this in a backyard and leave her. She needs to be with people. And she probably would get along well with other dogs. This is Layla. Layla came to us because her dad had lost his job and had lost his house, and Layla didn't have a place to go. She originally came from Spokane, and she is microchipped and spayed, and she is a German Shepherd Husky cross, although for some reason we also have Shar-Pei in there, and I'm not quite sure how that happened, but it's altogether possible. And so if that's important to you, that's something you should know. She's been a little bit depressed in our adoption area. This dog is very good on leash. Our volunteers like taking her out for walks on the trail. Her owner said that she's very good with children, that she has lived with cats. She does need a fence, although her owner said that a 4-foot fence was sufficient. I think if what was very dear to Layla was within that 4-foot perimeter, that a 4-foot fence would be. Otherwise, in a new home, it may be that you would want something that is a little taller. It takes the dog a little while to make the readjustment to what home means. Layla is not a particularly treat-oriented dog, which I think is kind of not a great thing because it makes training a little more difficult, but she is very motivated by human praise and petting, which is nice. This is a dog I like, and I feel very sorry for her and for her owner, and it would be really nice if somebody out there could help Layla with a new home now, because she is a wonderful dog and she deserves a wonderful home. Although, of course, nobody deserves the kinds of circumstances that our economy has visited on many of us. The dogs definitely are innocent victims. Her's a good girl. Often at the shelter, we don't have dogs in our adoption area. We have dogs in foster care. Normally, their pictures will be posted on the door that leads into the adoption area when they're available. This, for example, is Lucy. She's 3 years old. She's spayed. She is a Spaniel Australian Shepherd mix. We moved her to a foster home because we were getting a very ambiguous read from her, and in the shelter we were seeing some gait aggression, but at the same time, once she was out of the kennel, she was wonderful. In her foster home, she's been great with cats, other dogs, and with free-roaming chickens. And she has been shown to be fully housebroken and has other absolutely wonderful traits. We suggest a home with older kids, young teenage or maybe over 10, simply because of the gait aggression. Sometimes it's hard to remember when you're focused on other things what that means to a dog, and so that's the only reason for that recommendation. She's a great dog, but she would not do well in our adoption area simply because we have gates. So if you're interested in Lucy, give us a call. We'd really like to help you meet her. Now, we are going to go visit with a foster animal that doesn't belong to Animal Services. He is part of a group that belongs to a very closely associated 501c3 called Heartsea, who helps the Sheriff's Department with animals that are impounded on cruelty cases that have hooves. That's what it stands for, Hoofed Animal Rescue of Thurston County. It's a pig. You'll love him. This is Quinn. Quinn's a potbelly pig. He came to Hoofed Animal Rescue through a case that took about a year to prosecute. He originally had a broken leg, and that has healed, and he is in a foster home, which is one of the Heartsea foster homes. He is a young pig, and Heartsea is asking the amount for his neuter, which was $150, which has just been done recently. He's a very personable pig. He likes to play with his Kong. Let me see, what did we do with that? Here it is. He loves peanut butter sandwiches. There's your Kong. What do you think? And there's my peanut butter sandwiches. And he loves scratching. Pigs have really bristly coats, but their skin always, I think, must be kind of itchy. Quinn, over here. What are we thinking? Come on. Come on. You want your Kong? Look, there's your Kong. Want to play with your Kong? There we go. Oh, we saw the camera. We are camera shy pig. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. That's a good boy. Come on. Want some more? Want some more peanut butter? Oh, yummy. Yeah. And he really likes his Kong. Yes, I have more. It's a good thing you're a pig and you have a nice appetite. He's really a pretty amusing guy. I'm sure that he needs to go to a family who has some understanding of piggies, though, because it is not like having a dog. Like most people think that you can have a pig and it's going to behave exactly the same way, and that's not the case. This is a totally different critter, but nonetheless very interesting and perfectly capable of bonding in many of the same ways. Extremely intelligent, but not necessarily, like many animals, on a wavelength that is going to satisfy a human. His agenda is pig, and you have to expect that because that's what he is. But very, very definitely trainable, as long as you understand the behaviors that he is going to show you. Yeah. Yummy. Wow. That was good, huh? Sure. So, contact Heartsea about Quinn, or you can call the shelter and we will be happy to put you in touch. Thanks for joining us today. I know this has been a somewhat unusual show, but it's been a lot of fun. I've certainly had a good time, and hope to see you again next month.